Good evening, everyone. Sorry, my camera is coming on. It's just taking a while. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pompey Show here on Football Fan Den UK. If you're used to seeing Gaz, I'm Dylan. I'm hosting the Pompey Show. I'm PFC_DY4 on Instagram for those of you that are sort of new to my Instagram or new to Fandom. Me and Gaz have had a great working relationship over the last few seasons and last few years, and we've gotten to know each other really well, and we've helped each other out of our own projects. So yeah, I'm really grateful to Gaz for giving me this opportunity to host the Pompey Show for the second time on the channel. I've planned a few bits to talk about. I've planned a few bits to talk about over the course of the show, and we'll go for sort of an hour to an hour and a half. I've planned a few bits, but obviously the main topics of conversation will come from the chat. But we'll mostly be looking towards the start of the championship season it starts on Friday, but our first game's Saturday. Just previewing the season and previewing the first game of the season, which is away to Oxford United on Saturday. Bring comments into the chat and I'll read them whenever possible. But anyway, to start things off, I've just must share my screen, so I'm just getting used to being on this side of things still. Hi Jamie, hope you're well. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So I'm just trying to upload my screen onto the right. Where is it? So I'm just still getting used to this. There we go. Okay, it should come onto the screen in the next couple of seconds. Okay, so welcome to the Pompey Show. We're going to touch through everything, sort of reflect on pre-season, reflect on the transfers that are coming so far. Obviously, we've still got a few weeks to go left of the transfer window. But generally, we're going to try and reflect on what has been not a disappointing window, but it hasn't been the most active. But there's still time, and I'm still remaining hopeful. But I'll touch more on that later on. And we'll look ahead to the start of the new championship season and the first few games of the season. Mostly on our game on Saturday, but we'll also preview a couple more as well. I've lost the stream now. Right, Jamie, I'm glad you're doing well. So I'm just trying to share a comment up on screen. Anyway, I'll pop that up in a second. But yeah, welcome to the show. We're gonna hi Jack, hope you're well. Welcome to the show. It's good to see you. Just quickly before we start, make sure to like and subscribe, and it will show Gaz your support. And by liking the video, you'll also let me and Gaz both know that you obviously like the content, you like the show, and it will help us plan for future shows and what content to cover and what not to cover. So we do really appreciate your support. Just popping up our pre-season. So obviously our pre-season's finished now. We finished on Saturday by playing Zwolle at Fratton Park. I actually went to the game. It was the first time I'd been for a while. It wasn't the best game of football ever. It was a bit disappointing, but it's only pre-season. And we did win 1-0. It was just a bit of a scrappy, it was sort of the only chance we had. It was a bit of a scrappy goal, but I can't really complain too much when we won. I'm just loading up an overview of our results. There we go. It should be coming on now. Yeah. So those are our pre-season results. Sorry, I can't really see it on screen. The one's in yellow, but I'll read them out. So we beat Woking 2-0. Our first game of pre-season. It was a goal either side at half time. Sorry. And we played Farnborough, a local team for those of you that don't know. They're in the National League South. So the 6th division of English football. They used to be a Football League team a couple years ago. But they're in the National League South now. We played them and we won 5-0. And it was 1-0 at half time. And we came out firing second half. Jamie, to answer your question, where do you think we will finish in the league? It's a difficult one because I think that the Championship is very open this season compared to last year and compared to most recent seasons. I think this one's probably the hardest to call. I think it probably is the most open and most competitive it's been for a while. You've got teams coming up from League One with huge financial backing. And you've got teams coming down. Obviously, Leicester could have a points deduction. I'm not sure if that's actually been confirmed yet, but they could have a points deduction. Obviously, the other two, Ipswich and Southampton, both have very strong squads. I think we've made improvement from where we were this time last year. I would like to think that we can push just to be a stable mid-table team, and I'd be absolutely happy with that. I don't want another year of going into the last 5 games thinking how close is this going to get, because we only survived. I think we only stayed up with 1 game to go last year, so it just got very nervy towards the end. So if we could just be secure in 10th, or no, probably not that high, but anywhere sort of between 16th and 10th, I'll be happy with that. Obviously, if we finish high, that'd be great. I love that. But I'm happy with mid-table this season. I hope that answers your question, Jamie. Hopefully you guys do well this season as well. I'll be keeping posted for your results too. But yeah, so our pre-season, we beat Farnborough 5-0. Then we had a bit of a disappointing one against Moneyfields for another local team. Locals was the Portsmouth area. We did lose 2-0 to them, so that was a bit disappointing. But we did follow that up with a 1-0 win against Crawley, the newly relegated team to League Two. We bounced back we carried that into the next game a couple of weeks ago against Reading. It was at the Majeski Stadium. It was just over 2,000 fans there for that game. But we won that 4-0, so that was a very convincing display. Then we played Havant and Waterlooville, who is quite a well-known friendly. Don't worry if you don't know about it, but it's quite a well-known friendly sort of amongst football. But unfortunately, it was a bit of a disappointing one. We played quite a strong team in that game, and we drew 0-0. It's only pre-season, but with that sort of team lineup, we should have won that game. Then we finished pre-season on Saturday at home to as well a Dutch team. We won 1-0. It was a bit of a boring game, but we won, so I can't complain too much. Gaz, to answer your question, what positions are Pompey strengthened in the transfer market? Well, I'm going to put up the signings on the screen in a minute. But I believe we made 4 signings this summer. 5. We released, at the end of the last season, I think we released 7 players, and we've sold quite a few as well. And we've got 1 more player going. The manager's confirmed that he's going. It's just not been announced who he's going to yet. It's Matt Ritchie. I'm not sure what's going on. Apparently there's something going on behind the scenes between him and some of the staff and the manager. So he's been told that he's been let go, and if he's not sold by if he's not been transferred to another team by the end of the window, he'll have his contract terminated. So it's unfortunate to see him go, but once he goes, I think that will take our total up to 10 players being released or gone elsewhere permanently over the course of the summer. We had quite a big clear out of the midfield, albeit we had quite a few on loan last year. I would say we're going into the season stronger than what we left last season. It's just I do think we need a couple more additions before the end of the window. We made I will put it up on the screen in a minute. We did make a signing of Florian Bianchini, who's a winger on loan from Swansea. On loan from Swansea for the season. And they do have an option to recall him in January, so I'm just a bit concerned if he gets fit and firing, and starts putting in really good performances, then they'll recall him in January. But I'm trying not to think of that at the moment. I'm just going to try and share it on the screen. Unfortunately, I couldn't get all the signings onto one picture. I've had to put them up separately. But this was Florian Bianchini. What's going on here? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Just my computer decided to be weird. But we signed Florian Bianchini last week. He's on loan from Swansea. So yeah, I'm just a bit worried that he's going to perform really well and then get recalled in January. But hopefully that won't be the case. But yeah, sorry guys, to answer your question. I believe 6 players, that were released at the end of last season, and I think we sold a further 5. We sold a further 5. We sold Paddy Lane to Reading last week. We sold Riley Towler to Lincoln, centre back. It's another case of Riley Towler was another case of similar to Matt Rich, who's something going on behind the scenes, and then he'd ended up leaving. Trying to think who else went. Alexander Milosevic got his contract terminated. Cohen Bramall joined us in January last year. He's now gone to Luton in League One. He was quite disappointing. I was quite shocked to see him go, because I thought he played really well at the end of last season, but it's not my decision. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, guys. Jamie, are you happy with your team's new signs? Do you think you'll get 1 or 2 more before the window's closed? We've had links with some players, but there doesn't appear to, at the moment, doesn't appear to be anything nothing that's going to happen immediately. I was a bit concerned on Saturday because Colby Bishop, I did mention him in the last stream. I focused on him quite a lot, but he's basically our target man. He's basically the one that scored all the goals last season. He's out now for a month, so it's going to be quite hard to replace him, really. Well, not to replace him, apparently. It's going to be quite hard to fill his shoes for the first few games of the season. But I'm hopeful that he'll be back in time for the game against Southampton, because I'm not sure what we'll do without him if not. But yeah, we've been linked with a couple, so I would expect that we'll sign at least 1 or 2 more. But if you ask me personally, I think we should probably aim to sign maybe 3 more. Just because we haven't got a lot of squad depth at the moment, so I want a couple just for squad depth. But I think we also need to fill in a couple of gaps. More so, we've got a couple of wingers, and also on the midfield. We sold quite a few midfielders, and we had a couple on loan. So they've all gone back. So we sort of had to jiggle it all around this year. But I'm hopeful that I'm not panicking just yet, even though we haven't made a few. But I'm not panicking just yet. I'm just gonna remain hopeful, and hopefully we'll see a few join before the end of the window. Jamie saying, who you got first game of the season? Is it home or away? We're away first game on Saturday to Oxford United. We played them towards the end of last season. We won 2-0, which was our first away win of the season. But yeah, that was it would be an interesting one, because Oxford have had a really good summer, and I was looking at them earlier, and they've brought in quite a few new players. With that said, they could be just adapting and still building as a team. However, not to be underestimated, they are a good team, and they proved that last year. They stayed up quite comfortably in the end. But I'm hopeful that we can. I'm hopeful that we can put in a good performance, and I'm hopeful that we can come away with the win. But it will be a tough game. Yes, mate. So it sounds like Pompey might be fielding a much changed team. Yeah, especially in the midfield. I mean, our attacks more or less stayed the same, but our defence has definitely shaped around a bit. Our midfield, I'm hoping that the midfield will be a bit more dominant this year, because that's where we lost a lot of our well, I'll say the games were lost in midfield. It was just we sort of seemed to bypass midfield and sort of hoof the ball over. And any time the ball was played into midfield, I would attack it. Opposition players would run at them, and then we would just lose the ball. I think we needed a couple of younger players into our midfield, if you ask me. Not that I have anything against the experienced players. It's just a lot of them don't have the legs anymore. Hopefully the players are gelled together a little during pre-season. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the performances at the start of pre-season weren't that convincing at all, but you'd expect that at the start of pre-season. A long summer. But towards the end of pre-season, barring Saturday, they've looked a lot better and they've looked a lot more confident. And they look like they're actually playing as a team as opposed to just kicking the ball about. But yeah, hopefully, we'll see the first few games that the players are really gelled together. They're really bonded. Hopefully, a positive start to the season. So, as well as Florian Bianchini, we've signed a couple of other players. One of the most noticeable ones, I'm just going to try and show it on screen, if I can. There you go. So, one of the most notable ones was Adrian Segicic. I think it's on screen now. If not, it'll take a couple of seconds. But yeah, there we go. Adrian Segicic, we bought him, I want to say it was a rather low fee, but it was for money. I want to say it was around £10,000 from Sydney in Australia. He does look very good. I mean, I've only seen him in one game, but I've seen highlights of the other pre-season games. He does look very good on the ball, and he doesn't look like he's afraid to strike the ball from distance or just have a go, which I think is what was what we missed a lot last season. It was just we get the ball into nice areas, but no one would take that chance. No one would shoot. So I think that's what we missed a lot last season. But I'm hoping that this season that changes. And again, I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but he seems to be the man for the job. Jamie's saying, I think this season is going to be a hard one. I'll say top 3: Birmingham, Blaze, Leicester. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair shout. I think Birmingham, yourself, Sheffield United, they're in a good shout of top 2. Obviously, Birmingham are carrying a lot of financial backing with them. I think, I'm not sure whether this is actually true or not, but I heard that they were in one of the top 5 biggest budgets in the league. I mean, I'm not saying that's true. That's not from an official source. I just heard it. I saw it on social media. But I know there's no doubt that they've got quite a big budget. Same with Wrexham. But I'm hoping that, I hope Birmingham have a good season, but I hope Sheffield United do better. Leicester's a fair shout too, but I'm not sure if they have a points deduction or not. But I think they've got a very strong team. Same with Ipswich. I think Ipswich will put in a challenge for promotion this year. I saw their squad earlier and I thought, oh my goodness, they've got really strong. They've got a couple of our former players as well. But yeah, Ipswich is another club that, not that I don't have anything against them, but I hope they do. I hope they do well. Jamie is saying, I hope you do well. Hope you get in the playoffs. I would love us to get the playoffs, but I don't think we're quite there yet. If we do get in the playoffs, I'm not going to complain at all. I'll love it. But it's just, there's a lot of strong teams in the league this year. So personally, I'm happy with a mid-table season. But if we get into the playoffs, that's great. It's just, I just don't know. It's a very open and very competitive league this year. I honestly think it's a case of just anyone can finish anywhere. I'm not sure if it's coming up on the screen, but I'm trying to click to show the actual comments on the screen. Gaz is saying, what's the vibe of Pompey fans, mate? Do fans feel it'll be another battle to stay up? Or are fans expecting to push up the league? The general feeling from what I've got is that they're expecting, similar to what I said, sort of to be sort of lower to mid-table. For me personally, if that's the case, I'm absolutely fine with that. I think it's just a case of slowly building up slowly building ourselves and pushing ourselves further up the league year on year. But there are a couple that seem to, they're saying, we're strong enough to make the playoffs. We're strong enough, to push for promotion. I don't think we'll be. I would love for us to be in a playoff push this year, But if we're just comfortable mid-table, not worrying about relegation, maybe having the odd game where we're like, we could probably crack playoffs. If we're comfortable mid-table, I'm absolutely happy with that, and that will do for me. I just don't want it to be a case of last year, going into the final 3 games of the season, thinking, oh my goodness, are we going to do this? But yeah, I'm hopeful that this season will be a lot better. I'm hoping that we'll be comfortable in mid-table at least. Thank you, guys. Yeah, keep your comments coming in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jamie, and everyone else for being so active in the chat. It's appreciated. And I'm going to try and get some of the more graphics up onto the screen. Guys, I'm not sure if I'm doing it wrong. I'm clicking on the comment. I don't think it's just coming up onto the screen, but I'll work on that. I'll keep trying. I'll see if it comes up. But yeah. So our first couple of games of the season, I did try and make an edit out of this, but it didn't turn out very well. I was a bit short on time, but I will get one up. I'll talk about it anyway, but we'll try and get one up. But for our first few games of the season, we start, as I said a minute ago, we start away to Oxford on Saturday. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, I believe, on Saturday. And then we're in Carabao Cup action next Tuesday at home to Reading. Reading have just signed 2 of our former players and are expected to sign a third as well. They signed Matt Ritchie from us. Sorry, they signed Paddy Lane from us last week. He's a very, very good winger. I personally think he's championship quality. But whether he's definitely too good for League One in my opinion. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see him drop down to League One. I thought he was a great player, and I thought he was very much championship quality. But anyway, that's where he's gone. So I wish him all the best, and hopefully he'll do well at Reading. They also got Marco Mani, who we had on loan last season. He's just gone to Reading as well. I'm not sure if that's a permanent deal or another loan, but he's gone to Reading as well. And apparently, I was just reading one of the rumours about 10 minutes before the stream started, is that Matt Ritchie's been linked with a move to Reading on a free transfer as well. So I would love Matt Ritchie to stay, but it's most likely that he's not going to. So if he goes to Reading, then I just wish him all the best, and I hope he's successful there. But yes, we placed Reading on Tuesday. See potential reunion with a lot of former players, and then next Saturday, we're live on Sky, home to Norwich City at 12:30. Norwich City at home. Going to be a tough one. We played them one of our last games of last season. We played Norwich away. It was an 8-goal thriller. We finished 5-3. So there's definitely goals in that game, and hopefully we'll see plenty in that first Fratton fixture of the league season. And then looking ahead, we face West Brom the following week. We face West Brom away the following week. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff at the Hawthorns. I can't say I'm too much looking forward to that fixture, just because I'm a bit more confident now, but they absolutely destroyed us in both fixtures last season. They beat us 3-0 at home and then 5-1 away. And we were 4-0 down inside 20 minutes of the away fixture. So I'm just a bit worried that but I'm not going to try and think of it. But it's a good thing about having them early in the season, is we can get it out of the way should anything go wrong. Sorry, I'm just going to have a drink quick. So my throat was killing already. But yes, we've got West Brom away. So Oxford away, Reading at home in the Cup, Norwich at home. West Brom away, and then Preston at home. Preston at home on obviously it's the second to last weekend of August. No, last weekend of August. Preston at home. And that for me is a big one because the following game after that, we're away to Southampton. So I'm hoping that in that Preston game, because there's the international break after the Preston game between that and the Southampton game. So I'm hoping that we'll just win. I'm hoping that we'll win comfortably. Like I'm talking 3-0, 4-0. And we'll put in a good performance, score a few goals, and then we can go into the Southampton game with every bit of confidence. Hopefully that's the case, but obviously it's football, so anything can happen. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to read your comment in the private chat. So I'm just trying to load up the comments onto the chat. Sorry, the comments onto the stream. Sorry, it is loading. It's just taking its time. But the big one for me is obviously Preston at home because that will be the final game before we face Southampton away. So that would be the obviously a big one of can we go in with a bit of confidence? I'd like to think so, but I'm just going to go with it really. This one of the Southampton game is obviously a massive one for obvious reasons, but yeah, it will be a good atmosphere. And so I'm just trying to load up the comment onto the screen. I should read through the chat quickly. Hi Rich, hope you're well. Good to see you on the chat. Good to see everyone in the chat. Jack saying, I don't know what to say other than I wish you all the best being a local team and hopefully you can sneak into the playoffs. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll be support Worthing. So I believe they were unfortunate to miss out on the playoff, miss out on promotion, last season. It was a very tight league last year, but hopefully they'll go one better this season. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate it a lot. Jamie saying some goals in that game, 5-3 this season. Can this season be 5-4? I would love that, but I couldn't cope with the constant back and forth last season. My heart could not take it. I think that was Easter Monday. No, Good Friday, sorry. So yeah, my heart just could not take it. It was just constant back and forth, taking the lead, going behind. It was just, yeah, I couldn't hack it. Going with that many goals, you can't complain too much if you're a neutral. Jamie saying, I'm looking forward to watching your derby. Yeah, I say I'm looking forward to it. I'm also dreading it at the same time. Both teams, I think, are a lot stronger than what they were last year. I mean, Southampton didn't have the best of seasons in the Premier League last season by any means, but I'm hoping that it'll be a competitive game. But obviously, as a Portsmouth fan, I want us to absolutely whip them. But yeah, I saw that the home end is sold out, so away tickets aren't on sale yet. So I'm hoping that we'll have a good we'll have a good following anyway. We take good support everywhere, all over the country. But hopefully hopefully be a good atmosphere, and hopefully we can come away with a win. So I'm trying to get the chat up onto the screen. It doesn't seem to want to work. Sorry, I am reading your comments, guys. It's just I'm trying to get the actual flickers not going across, but I'll sort that out. Rich is saying, what can you expect? What can Reading expect from Paddy Lane? A lot of pace, a lot of attacking quality. He can strike a ball perfectly. He wouldn't be afraid to hit a shot on the volley. His pace is absolutely unreal, if you ask me. I'd say it's a bit different in the Championship, but I'd say in League One, he's probably one of the paciest players. I wouldn't go as far as saying paciest players in the league, but he was the paciest player that I've seen play for us for a long time. But also he's just very passionate, and he'd always give 100%. He wouldn't be afraid to, put in a challenge, or he wouldn't be afraid to, question the decision. He'd give you 100%. He'd give you 90 minutes, and as a fan, that's all you can ask for, really. Someone who wants to play for the shirt, and someone who would give you 90 minutes. Jamie's saying, are you going to it? If you're talking about the Southampton game, I would love to go for it. I'd love to go to it. But obviously tickets are going to sell really quickly. I don't have a season ticket, so it'll be season ticket holders have a priority window. And I can't see ticket sales going past season tickets. So I would love to go to it, but it's unlikely. But that's a good thing about being on TV, is I can watch it on TV. I'm glad you're doing well, Jack. Just in your comment. Jamie, thank you for your understanding. But I hope that answered your question. Sorry, guys. I'll leave that. So coming back to we talked about transfers before that. So we signed Adrian Segacic, as you can see on the screen. We signed him from Sydney in Australia. Very good winger, forward player. He can play out on the left. So I think what the manager wants to do is to play him more as a number 10 sort of role. And that's just going off what I've seen in pre-season. But he seems to want to play him as more of a number 10, which it seemed to work on Saturday. I thought he was one of our standout players. I thought he covered every play of the grass. And I was very impressed by his performance. But I would like to see him play out on the wing, because that's where everyone from his old club, all his fans from his old club, were saying, he's like dynamite when he's out on the wing. So I'd love to just to see what he's like. But no, I was very impressed with how he played. Another one of our signs, I don't think I've got it up on here, but was John Swift from West Brom. A couple of sort of neutral football fans might know that name. He's quite popular at West Brom. I remember when we played them. He played in both games last season. I watched the home game on Sky. and he played very well. I remember pointing him out and saying, he's a very good player. He put in a challenge. He'll done really good. So expectations were quite high for him when he joined us, and he's a local lad as well. He didn't play for our academy, but he's from the area. So expectations were quite high when he came into the club. It was a bit of a disappointing pre-season for him. He didn't play he wasn't at his best. He did give a couple of balls away. He did, make a couple of mistakes, but that's what pre-season's for. I'm not going to judge someone on, their pre-season performance. They'll be judged as, the actual season. So I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying his pre-season was a little bit disappointing, but we're not going to, take it with a pinch of salt. We'll see how he does, and hopefully he'll do really well in the league campaign. Jack saying Saints seemed good Saturday, coming back from being 2-0 down against Brighton. I thought they played well. Yeah, I saw that. I thought they were 2-0 down. They came back to draw 2-2. Yeah, hopefully they don't replicate that. Hopefully they don't replicate that in the league, or at least against us. I would just love, if possible, for us to finish above them this season. I think that'd be great. To bring them down to earth. Just showing them they're not as good as what they think they are. Outside of that, I think they've got a good team. They've got some very great quality players. I saw that they'd loaned down Ramsdale. They loaned down Ramsdale to Newcastle, and they've also I don't know if this was confirmed or not, but I saw that they were selling Tyler Dibbling. I'm not sure that's confirmed, but I think they've made quite a few good signs. They've got a new manager as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting for them just to see how they do when they're back in the Championship with a new, relatively new set of players and a new manager and a new coaching staff. But hopefully we'll still beat them on the 14th of September. Yeah, Gaza just hit the nail on the head. I apologise for not having the comments up on the screen. I'm not sure what's going on at all. If I can get it working, then I will. But it's just when I go to put a comment on, the camera comes, like my face comes off the screen, and there's no comment appearing on the screen. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'll do my best to keep going, and I'll just put a caption up on the screen for now. Sorry, the chat's gone. I'm just trying to load the chat back up. Jamie saying, who's your favourite player from the Saints? I can't say I really have a favourite Southampton player. It's not Gavin Bazunu because he left us for them. So it's definitely not him. And I think he'll get, there's no secret what sort of reception he'll get when he come the Derby game. He seems to be their number one for the season. I'm going with what I saw earlier. So hopefully, well, I say hopefully, I'm not encouraging targeting abuse at him, but I'm hoping it'll get the reception it deserves when he comes back to Fratton Park in January, and obviously at the reverse fixture at the end of mid-September. So I can't say I have a favourite Southampton player, but my least favourite is Gavin Bazunu. Although he was very good for us, but he went to Southampton, so that undid it all. But yeah, to answer sort of the general question a few people have been asking, I do think the Championship is very open this season, and it's going to be a tough league. It's going to be a tough season, but I'm confident that we can. Be safe. I'm confident that we won't be going into a relegation battle into the last couple of games like we did this season. Jack saying used to be Ward-Prowse, yeah, another from Portsmouth, yeah. There's been quite a few players that have gone either from Southampton to us or from us to Southampton. A couple of the standouts would be like Peter Crouch. Because I've gone off my head now. I think Jermaine Defoe did as well. Obviously, Gavin Bazunu has. Obviously, James Ward-Prowse, he came through our academy and then signed for Southampton on a free transfer. That was years ago, but yeah, no one's really forgiven him for that. Obviously, he quickly became a fan favourite there as well. So, I mean, he doesn't play for them anymore, so it's not as bad now. But yeah, Gavin Bazunu is certain to get a bit of a horrid reception when he comes back. There we go. So yeah, on the whole, I'd say we're definitely going into this season a lot better than how we've gone into previous seasons. Also, I'm not sure how you guys are feeling ahead of the new Championship season or the new EFL season. Obviously, League One and League Two kicked off last weekend, just gone. But feel free to let me know what you guys are thinking about the season ahead. Obviously, I know I was talking to Gaz earlier in the week, and he says he's still a bit disappointed over Bolton's game against Stockport. I only watched the highlights of that game. I thought refereeing decision was poor in that game. I won't go on about it too much, but yeah, I thought the refereeing was shocking in that game. But it's only match day one, so I'm hopefully for Gaz and Bolton's sake that they can come back and have a good season. I'm trying to refresh the chat. Jack's saying, would you rather get knocked out of the cups like EFL Cup and focus on the league? In all honesty, Jack, I would much rather get knocked out of the Carabao Cup first round, even if it is a 2-0, 3-0 defeat. I'd much rather get knocked out of the Carabao Cup and have a good FA Cup run alongside, obviously, league focus, because no doubt about it, league is priority. However, I love an FA Cup run, much as most football fans do, and I don't like it. It annoys me so much when people say, oh, it's only the FA Cup, it doesn't matter, or I don't care, I want us to get knocked out of the FA Cup. That's not what the FA Cup's about. When people say, oh, we're not going to win the FA Cup, so what's the point in it being in it? That's not what the FA Cup's about. The FA Cup's about, going on, the underdogs beating, or facing up against the bigger clubs. And that's what I love about it. So it does annoy me when people say it was only the FA Cup want us to get knocked out. The Carabao Cup I don't really care about. In all honesty, I'm much more focused on the FA Cup. No disrespect to anyone that cares about the Carabao Cup. But yeah, to answer your question, Jack, I'd much rather us get knocked out of the Carabao Cup and have a good FA Cup run alongside focusing on the league. However, if we do get knocked out of the FA Cup first at the third round, and we go on to stay up comfortably, then I'd be fine with that. Jamie saying, I say top 2 for Blades and Wrexham may get in the playoffs. I think Wrexham, as much as I don't want to say it, I do think that they'll be top 6 this season. I saw they signed Kiefer Moore and they've signed quite a few other older. I saw they were linked to Christian Eriksen a few weeks ago. I think that's gone quiet now. But yeah, I've seen that they've put quite a strong team together. Obviously, they play Southampton on Saturday. So, as much as I don't want Wrexham to do that well this season, if they can start the season off well and win on Saturday, that'd be great. But yeah, I think Blades will have Sheffield United have a good season. And I say top 2 should be their minimum target, really. I think they really should be targeting first. But as I said before, it's a very it's a very open and very competitive league this season. So I think it's a case anyone can really finish anywhere. Jack saying Worthing v Pompey in the FA Cup. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd much rather have it down at your place because that would be a good money maker for you. It'd be a great crowd for that game. So I would love that to happen. Hopefully Worthing can go all the way to the third round this season, and who knows, it might happen. If it does happen, Jack, then I'll remember this stream and I'll come back and I'll bring it up and I'll remind you in a couple of months' time if it does happen. But that would be an absolute great time. To be honest, I think, it'd be a great game as well. Jamie's saying, I'm not as bothered about the EFL Cup. FA Cup is a lot better. Yeah, I agree. FA Cup, it's a cliche, but the FA Cup is much more magical than the Carabao Cup or the League Cup, whatever it's called. And, it does, I wouldn't say it upsets me, but it disheartens me to see how little people care about the FA Cup. How little some people care. So some clubs take, it disheartens me to see how little care clubs take in the FA Cup nowadays. Especially when you see like some grounds are empty for FA Cup third round, fourth round games. But that's just modern football, unfortunately. I think the interest has certainly gone down since they scrapped replays as well. Gaz is saying in the chat, I think the League Cup is underrated. I think lower league clubs have a better chance to go far in the League Cup because the EPL clubs are more focused on the league in Europe early. That's a fair shout, Gaz. Actually, that's a very fair point. I didn't think of that. That's actually a very fair point. Obviously, at the start of the season, obviously Champions League, Europa League, all in their early group stage. So, I do see your point. I do find that in the FA Cup, especially during the earlier rounds, is that obviously Premier League teams and probably Championship clubs as well. They'll play almost academy players in their cup games, whether that be Carabao Cup or FA Cup. You sort of find that the first few rounds they play a really weak team, which I think is one of the reasons why there's a little bit less interest now. Is that they see it more as a not an academy fixture, but they see it as more of a chance for rotation more than a cup tie, chance for David versus Goliath, that sort of thing, But no, I do see your point, Gaz. I think it's a very fair shout. I do agree. I do agree with you there, Gaz. It is a very fair point. Who do Bolton have in the cup, Gaz? I did look at the fixtures earlier, but I can't say I remember who Bolton have. So if you could remind me, that'd be great. But, no worries if not. Because as I said earlier, we've got Reading in the first round. We haven't made it beyond the first round for the last couple of seasons, so I'm hoping that. Obviously, as I said, I'm not too fussed if we get knocked out, but it'd be nice, obviously, to see a win and to at least get to round 2 this season. The last time we made it beyond round 2, the last time we made it further than round 1 to round 2 was, I believe, it was the COVID season, like the season where it was cut short because COVID affected the second half of it. And that was when we played Southampton last time in that competition. That was the last time. Well, we played them once since then, but that was the last time we played them properly, if you get what I mean. We played them a couple seasons later, but that was in a local competition. People don't really talk about that as much, but it was still, both games were still very, brilliant in terms of atmosphere. Jack saying Bolton got Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, yes, I remember now. Yeah. Bolton v Sheffield Wednesday. I remember seeing Sheffield Wednesday fans talking about the actually like strike protest, that they could take. And there was a group of them talking about doing it at Bolton in the cup game, but I don't think they are now because I saw a report on Sky saying that all protests have been cancelled. But yeah, that should be an interesting one. Obviously, 2 local-ish clubs. I say local, that's never knowing each other. Sheffield's like Yorkshire way. But no, it should be a good tie. Hopefully, obviously for Gaz, and for all the Bolton fans, hopefully they do well. Hopefully they get through to the next round. But I'm sure that the majority of Bolton fans will hope that they'll focus more on the league this season and focus more on getting out of League One, which, in my opinion, I think they deserve to be. Gaz saying, "Oh yes, Leicester are in the relegation zone before a ball is kicked." I assume that they've actually got a points deduction, but I don't know if it's actually been confirmed. I assume they have, but I haven't actually looked to see whether it's actually. I'll see if I can find it now, and I'll share it onto screen if possible. So bear with me, guys. The BBC is still saying Leicester City are on 0 points at the moment, but that could just be BBC. I'll check Sky in a second as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually been confirmed yet, or if it has and just haven't updated the tables. But Gaz is saying Bolton going up, Leicester going down. That'd be brilliant if they just bypass each other. That'd be great. I think Leicester will. I don't think they'll challenge for. I don't think there'll be a case of top two this year. I think if they're going to challenge for promotion, they'll be sort of playoffs. But it's hard. It's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call with Leicester. Much similar to how it is with the rest of the league, but I think Leicester in particular, is definitely a difficult one to call. But for Gaz, I'm hoping for all Bolton fans. I hope they do well this season. I'd love for them to go up, and I'd love to play them again next season. Jamie's saying we've got Birmingham in the cup. Yeah, that'd be a difficult one. I'm not sure if Birmingham are going to take the cup seriously this year, because I guess it depends whether they're bothered about cup competition, whether they're going to put all their focus and energy into pushing up the table and trying to go for promotion to the Premier League. So they're definitely throwing a lot of money at it, but that's not to say they're not going to focus on the cup either. But that should be a great game, Jamie. Are you bothered about the cup game, or are you more focused on the league one? Sorry, are you more focused on the league? Yeah, the championship starts on Friday. Maybe it's Birmingham v Ipswich. Yeah, Birmingham v Ipswich is the first game. And then Southampton v Wrexham is the main game on Saturday, before Sheffield United v Bristol City at 5:30 on Saturday. So that'd be a good game, Jamie. Bristol City at home, but I mean it's one that's definitely winnable. Bristol City have got. I know a couple of their players that used to play for us. Well, I know them. I know of them. But no, there's no reason why you couldn't win that comfortably 2 or 3-0. So hopefully you'll get off to a good start, and hopefully Baltimore too. And obviously Pompey. Hopefully we will get off to a good start too. Sure, guys. I haven't actually pointed this out. This is a match-worn shirt from a couple seasons ago. Well, I say a couple. It was 2011. 2010 to 2011 season. It was just after we'd been relegated from the Premier League, our first season in the Championship, after being relegated from the Premier League. This is a match-worn shirt. If I just turn around, you can see I've got Ryan Williams on the back. This is actually only the second time I've worn this. It only comes out on special occasions, so I thought it's quite fitting to wear it here. I do want to get it framed, but I don't have the room for it at the moment. But yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to wear it on here, and actually I can show you guys as well. It's only the second time I've worn it. Jamie's saying, I'm not bothered about the cup, mate. I think we need to think about the league. Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, you came so close to promotion last season. Yeah, so you came so close, and I think you were very unlucky not to get promoted, especially because you were in with a shout going into the final few games, and obviously there was a bit of a gap after the final game between you and second, but you were in the top 2 for so long. But no, I think you have a good season this year, and I'd say out of all the teams I know I've been saying for the last hour that it's a very open and very competitive league, but I think out of all the teams in the league, you and Birmingham have probably got the best chance of being in the top 2 come the end. Jack saying, got our derby on the 16th. Horsham with you, Worthing. Well, that'd be very competitive. I've been to Horsham's ground before. I can't say I've been to Worthing's, but I've been to Horsham's ground because our women's team played them a few seasons ago. So I was there for that one. But I haven't been there for a men's game. But Worthing's on my list. Horsham not so much. Worthing's on my list. But hopefully they'll get win for you, Jack. I assume by 16th, I mean the 16th of this month. If it's 16th of this month, I'll look out for it. But if not, you have to remind me later on. No, I'll look out. I will always look out for Worthing's results anyway, but I'll keep an eye out, and yeah, I'll definitely pay attention to that one. Jack, you'll probably know this better than I do because I focus more on the National League. I won't touch on this for very long because this is a stream about Portsmouth. But I just wanted to ask Jack, do you have many kickoff time changes in the National League, in Worthing's League? Only because a lot of National League fixtures have been moved to like 12:30 or 5:30 kickoffs because the new broadcasting deal. But yeah, just let me know, Jack. I'm just curious. So I thought you're better to know than I will. Jamie's saying, yeah, we've got Bristol City on Saturday, 5:30. Love to go, but it's a sellout. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's a sellout. I mean, they're going to have a good season this season. So I'm hoping, for your sake and for obviously the All Blades fans as well, that you'll get off to a good start. Hopefully, get off to a winning run until you play us. And I hope I'll be fine with a draw against you. In fairness, but yeah, I hope you get onto a good start, and I have no doubt you'll be up there come the end of the season. Jack saying, yeah, this month. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Jamie saying, it was some daft game we lost to the small teams last season. Yeah, that seems to be a case with a couple of the ones up near the top. Is you'll beat the teams around you, and you'll beat the teams sort of mid-table, but the ones near the bottom you constantly drop points against. Obviously, I think Sheffield United, we lost at Bramall Lane to you, 2-1. Then we drew with you at Fratton Park back in September. No, I think Sheffield Wednesday have a fantastic squad. Do you still have Harry Suter? Because I remember seeing him play in the game at Fratton Park last season. I thought he's massive. Like, he's really tall. I knew of him before that game, but I always I remember seeing him. I knew of him before I saw that game, but I didn't realize how tall he was until I actually saw him in person. Jack saying that it's always 3 p.m. on a Saturday, 7:45 on a Tuesday. Oh yeah, it's fair enough. It's only because I saw the National League have brought in a new broadcasting system. There's now a lot of games are either at 12:30 or 5:30. Obviously, the last game of the season's been moved to a different kickoff time as well. So I just thought it was worth asking. But no, thank you for that, Jack. Yeah, obviously, I'm not sure what. Generally, I know what people's opinions are, but in terms of the fandom community, I was curious to get to know what people's thoughts were on the Sky Sports deal with League One, League Two, and the Championship. Because obviously, you get, I think it's 7 games. The kickoff at 12:30 across all 3 leagues on a Saturday. Then you get some at 5:30, and you get some on a Sunday at 12 o'clock as well. So I was just curious to see what some people think of that. Because there's a lot of fans that will go, no, football should be played at 3 o'clock on a Saturday and no other time. But then there are some that are a bit more open to it and think, this is actually a good opportunity to bring some clubs in, bring some extra money in for clubs. My own personal opinion on that, because I was going to bring this up anyway, in fairness, but my personal opinion is I love the 3 o'clock kickoff time. I love the tradition of a 3 o'clock kickoff. And I don't have any problem with games kicking off at 3 o'clock. I love it. I love the build-up, and I love, obviously, the post-match. I love everything about the 3 o'clock kickoff. However, the 12:30 kickoff, well, not just the 12:30, the game is being moved in general. Obviously, allow for more TV money to be brought in. And as annoying as it is that the fixtures being changed, I have no doubt that it's annoying that fixtures are constantly changed. It's good to see more clubs getting publicity, and good to see more clubs getting TV money, because a couple of seasons ago clubs weren't getting that extra bit of money. And I know in terms of everything else, it might not work out as a lot, but it's still a little bit to help the club, especially for the ones lower down the Football League. I know that every single penny they get is massive for them, and it helps them out a lot. So that's my own personal opinion, but feel free to let me know, guys, what you think about games being moved in the new Sky Sports broadcasting deal. Jamie saying, do I like the new kits? Interesting. Our third one still hasn't been released. I was going to include them in the stream, but I thought I'd wait until the third kit's out, and then I'll put all three up on at the same time, and then we can talk about it all. And I'll show you guys. But that'll be for the next stream, hopefully, once the show's out, once the kit's out. Sorry. I quite like the home kit. I can see if I can get a picture of it up. The home kit, I mean, there isn't much you can do really once you've had the same sort of design for the last few seasons, but I do like it. It's a very nice colour. It's a different shade of blue than sorry guys. It's a different shade of blue to what it's been the last few seasons. It's got a nice sort of like bubbly design across the front. The away kit I'm not a massive fan of, but I do quite like the home kit. I saw it in person for the first time on Saturday. But yeah, I quite like the home kit. Just the away kit, I just think it's a bit of an odd colour scheme. I'll show you guys it in a minute. One thing I'm not a fan of is the pricing of it, but I'm sure that's the same across most teams. I just loaded up the online shop. I'm going to show it on so you'll see how much our shirts cost as well. It should be coming up onto the screen now. In its own time. There we go. So yeah, the home kit, as you can see, so I will get one up in the next stream with all three kits together. Just because the third one isn't out at the moment. So that's the home shirt. It's got quite a nice sort of like spherical, bubbly design across the middle, and you can't really tell in the picture, but it's a very nice shade of blue, different to the last couple of seasons. The away kit is white, but it's sort of like white, then a weird strip of grey across the middle, sort of like the chest area, then it's white again at the top. I'm not a fan of the grey bit, but I quite like the design. It's just I don't see the point in the grey bit. So I've gone away from there we go. The away kit. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to load it up. There we go. So that's the way it's not that clear on the screen, but you've got sort of a grey outline here, which it's not as clear on here as it is in person, but it's really grey this bit. And then I don't really see the point because it's not even carried on over to the back or on the sleeves. It's just sort of a weird grey bit across the chest area. But in terms of design, I really like it. It's just a bit of a weird thing to have the grey bit in the middle. And try and get through some more comments. But yeah, I'll put all the kits onto one edit and I'll show it in the next stream that we do. Jack saying, I don't mind it. It gets more Brighton fans downhead than if Brighton was at the same time. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the positives is that obviously lower league has benefited from it. Because if you have, I mean, I know that the team that I work for, I work for a local non-league team, and say Southampton are playing at 12:30, they'll do an offer saying, "Oh, people with a ticket for the Southampton match, if we're playing at 3:00, they'll say you can have entry for £5 or something." It works quite well and it benefits obviously the lower leagues. And I'm sure many other clubs have probably done that across the country. Jack's saying, I'm going Brighton v Man City. That's now a Sunday at 2 p.m. Oh, brilliant, Jack. I hope you enjoy that one. I assume we'll be in the Brighton end for that one. Then that should be a great game. Obviously, a good chance to see Premier League football. Obviously, a great stadium as well, the Amex. Fantastic stadium. I've been there once. I've been outside it a few times. I've been inside it for a game once. And it's absolutely fantastic stadium. Obviously, I've never seen Brighton play, but obviously I've seen them play on TV before. Absolutely fantastic club. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll get a win for you. Gaz saying, good to see Sky giving lower leagues more attention, but time will tell if the money is enough to help clubs financially. Yeah, it's a good shout, Gaz. Yeah, as I said a minute ago, it's nice to see obviously clubs getting a bit more publicity and a bit more money. And well, obviously, I know that it's upset a lot of fans that we've got games now at 12:30 instead of 3 o'clock. But I do think that in the long term, more clubs will benefit from it. But yeah, as you said, Gaz, time will tell. Jack saying decent price. Ours was £52 each, and I got all three. Wow. Yeah, and £52 for non-league. Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, the club that I work for, they charge 55 for their home kit, so it's only a little bit less, Jack. But yeah, £60 for championship. I thought it was a bit excessive, and when I've seen other teams' kits, I thought, okay, probably not so bad. Sorry, guys. I've been talking so much, my throat started to feel the effect of it. Jamie saying Blade's kit is about 75, 85. What? That's ridiculous. No disrespect, Jamie, but that 75 to 85 pound for a kit, or like just a shirt. I'm not sure if that's a shirt or if that's a full kit, like with shorts and socks. If that's just a shirt, that's crazy. Especially when in a year's time that kit's going to be outdated, and the price will be reduced to half price or whatever it's reduced to. So I do think that is, especially when fans really pay a lot of money, for a season ticket or a match ticket in general. Obviously, any other club merchandise or anything at the ground. That I think that's a bit excessive. But who am I to say how much they should charge? Jamie's saying, I like that away kit. Yeah, it is a nice design. I know I slagged it off a bit earlier. It's a nice design, don't get me wrong. It's just, I just find the grey strip in the middle really weird. Jack saying, oh, sorry guys, mate. Horsham came up last season, won the league on goal difference. Wow. Was that... It's not Isthmian League, is it? Southern Central. I saw that, Jack, you probably know this better than I do, but were Horsham in the same league as Tottenham last season? I saw obviously Tottenham won the playoff final last season, because Tottenham are quite close to me. But yeah, I remember seeing Horsham won the league, but I can't remember if it was the same league or not. It's obviously a bit more regionalised at that level. But yeah, should be a great atmosphere, Jack, and should be a great game too. Jamie saying it's just a t-shirt, mate. Yeah, if it's just a t-shirt, I think £85 is ridiculous. You might, if you don't know, Jamie, that's absolutely fine. I can search it up. How much is it for a full kit, roughly? Because I think 75, £85 for just a shirt is absolutely mental. I mean, I might just be overreacting a bit, but I think that's ridiculous for a shirt. But hopefully, the thing is fans can protest with their feet, they can protest with their words, but if people buy it, then the clubs aren't going to do anything. Fans will say, oh, anyone would just say, oh no, £60, £70, £80 for a shirt, too much. But if people still buy it, then the clubs aren't going to do anything, not going to bring the price down. If anything, it will encourage them to put it up some more. But yeah, Jamie said, I don't know about that, pal. Sorry. No worries, mate. I just thought I'd ask, just see how much a full kit is. But yeah, £85 for a shirt is mental. And I was here saying £60 is too much. But no, thank you all for I'm not ending the stream. I'm just saying thank you all for putting some comments in and for the support you've shown me despite the technical difficulties earlier. I appreciate it a lot. So thank you for your help and thank you for your support. Always keep bringing your comments in, and yeah, we'll look ahead to the start of the championship season. I think I did get it right. Yeah. So our first game's Oxford. We're only missing out two players are missing out. Sorry, for injury. That's being Colby Bishop and our backup goalkeeper. So, Colby Bishop would be a big miss, but I'm hoping that we could still probably win that 2. I'll say 2-0. I'll say 2-0 win. I'm hoping. Oxford are a strong team, but I think our attacking players have improved a lot, and I'm hopeful that we'll get off to a good start. We haven't won our opening game in a season since 2021. So yeah, I'm hoping that run will end, and we'll start the season with a convincing victory. Then we face Norwich. Norwich, West Brom, Preston, and then Southampton. Also, I touched on it earlier, but yeah, Southampton will be the big one, and the one that a lot of people are their eyes are turned to already. Gaz saying, so pressure on for Worthing going into that game favourites them. Yeah, Jack. So I imagine Worthing will be odds-on favourites for that one, but hopefully they can get a convincing win. I'll be keeping an eye out for that result. Jamie saying, will you be going to a game this season? I'll try. I'm going to go to. I went to the pre-season friendly on Saturday. I'm going to a game on the 4th of October against Middlesbrough. That was arranged privately through family because we're doing hospitality for that fixture. It's the first time I've ever done hospitality at Portsmouth. But yeah, I'll be going to that game. In terms of other games, I haven't booked anything else at the moment. It's difficult to watch the men's team, only because I work on Saturdays. I did say a minute ago, but I work for a non-league team, my local non-league team. So it's a lot harder for me to watch the men's team because a lot of the time their fixtures clash, like their home games clash. So it's a lot harder to watch the men's team. It's only really if they play on a Sunday, or occasionally I won't be working. Sometimes if Pompey are home, I'll try and get tickets, but it's a lot harder now. But yeah, I will definitely go to a few. It's just I'm not sure which ones yet, with the exception of 4th of October against Middlesbrough. But yeah, if you have any more questions, then drop them in. I'll look to end the stream over the next sort of 10-15 minutes or so. Jamie's saying, fair enough. Yeah, it's just I want to go to the games. It's just the price of tickets is expensive. It's like £35-40 for an adult ticket, and obviously it's harder for me because I work Saturdays. So yeah, I would love to go, but it's just a lot harder. Guys are saying £85 is madness. Fans paying that allows clubs to demand that stupid price. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. If fans, no disrespect, but if fans actually, said no, we're not buying it, then clubs will be forced into bringing the price down. But because fans will pay £85 for a shirt, that just encourages them to keep putting the price up and charging even more, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was here complaining that £60 for a shirt was too much, but then I heard £85. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no disrespect to anyone at Sheffield United, but £85, especially when I'm not sure how much Sheffield Wednesday shirts are, or even the local non-league teams around the Sheffield area. But it's a football shirt, for young fans to show their support. I know it might not be £85 for a kid's shirt, but the stuff that the prices that they're charging is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so it's pricing a lot of families and a lot of people out of it, unfortunately. Jack saying, not really, Dylan, mate. Just good luck on Saturday, bud, to Pompey and Eastleigh. Thank you, Jack. Eastleigh start their season on Saturday as well. They're away to Brackley. They haven't had the most convincing pre-season, but hopefully they'll have a good season. Obviously, I'll be keeping an eye out for their results. So obviously, I'll be there for some of their games too. Obviously, Pompey just want mid-table season this year. If we can have mid-table, then next season I'll go, yeah, you know what, we can push for, sort of top 8, top 6 now. But for this season, I'm just going to say, you know what, let's just mid-table. Jamie's saying, I know, mate, it's a daft price. Yeah, it really is. I have no disrespect, Jamie. It's ridiculous. Who would pay £85 for a shirt? It's beyond me. Jack saying, Brighton 1 cost me £102. Was that the shirt or the ticket for the game, Jack? So I'm a bit confused. Is that for this Brighton shirt, or was that for the Brighton ticket to the game? you just clarify that quickly? So I might just be because I totally missed something. But yeah, that's mental. Guys saying Man United had a shirt £110 last season. That's just £110 for a shirt. You're taking fans for mugs, honestly. No disrespect to Premier League teams or Man United particularly, but with Man United, you have a very large global fan base. And know that people will pay for their shares. That's just that £110. That's ridiculous. That's daylight robbery. I'm sure it was a nice kit, but no football shirt. Like I love football kits. I love getting a kit. I get Portsmouth kits. I get loads of football shirts, but I would never pay £110. And if fans actually didn't buy shirts, they just went, what, I'm not happy at that price. We're not going to pay for it. We're going to go and we're not going to wear this season's shirt. And clubs would respond to that and they bring the price down. And they would consider that for future seasons because they wouldn't want to miss out on their profits or miss out on, merchandising revenue. But no, £110 is absolutely mental. Jamie saying, last time me and Megan gone to Sheffield FC last season, tickets were only £5 each and t-shirt was about £35. Sorry, Jamie. No, that's brilliant. £5 entry. It's fantastic. Clubs at that level. I'm not sure what league Sheffield FC are in. I know that the world's oldest football club, but I'm not sure exactly what league they're in. But no, £5 entry. That's amazing. And t-shirt for £35. You can tell that they're a club that cares about their supporters and cares about getting people through the gate. They're not just there to nab your money; they actually care about their supporters. And I'm not sure if I said this to Jamie in a previous stream. But I remember talking to Gaz about it on a show once, and it was a local league team near me, not the one I work for, but another one near myself. They did a match day deal. Match day deal where you can get a ticket, entry to the game, match day program, and 50% off your first drink for £5.99, £5.50, sorry. And you could I looked at that and I thought, you know what, you can tell that football club is a club that cares about its fans and cares about its supporters. They're not just there to go, okay, thanks for your money, off you go. They genuinely cared about, having an enjoyable fan experience. And obviously they need the money through the door, but they're actually there to care about their supporters and actually you feel looked after. And I appreciate that's quite low down the football pyramid, but you can tell that they're a club that cares about its community and cares about its supporters. Jack saying the shirt. £102 for the shirt. Again, it's not as bad as £110. That's absolutely mental. It's ridiculous how much a club. I know that football is a business. Like football, you need to make money, through merchandise. But £102 is mental. I don't understand it. Again, just Gaz's comment. Man U fans are brain dead. Pay £110 for a shirt to finish 16th. Yeah, I completely agree there. But no, to pay £110, £102, whatever it is, even £85, that's mental. It's absolutely ridiculous. And as I keep saying, if fans actually took the time or took the chance, to actually stand up to the football club and to the football clubs that keep charging this amount and say, no, we're not going to do it, we're not going to buy your shirts, then they would listen and eventually they would bring their prices down and make it more affordable. Because you get all these football clubs and all these companies saying, making football affordable, making football accessible for all generations, for all fans. Well, it's not. Because at the end of the day, like clubs like Man United fans, so clubs like Man United charging £110 for a shirt, that's basically saying that you can only support or show your support for that club if you've got money, or if you've, not to say that you're rich, but like if you've got money. But no, it's ridiculous. And I'm sorry I ranted on a little bit there, but no, £110 is ridiculous. It's mental. Jack saying Worthing is £18 a game now. In fairness, Jack, I think that's quite a good price. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's probably not the most expensive in the league. I'm not saying it's the most cheapest in the league either. But for the club that I work for, only a league above you, I think it's 20. They've put their prices up this season to £22. I want to say £22.50. I think it is for an adult. But no, £18. I can still see why some fans might not like that, but I think £18 is a fair price for obviously for the league, and obviously the club want to make a bit of money. But no, I do see your point, Jack. Jamie's saying, you was telling me it can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I assume that's in relation to what I said about the £5.50 bundle. But no, I've only been to that club, sorry, about 2 or 3 times. But I like I like supporting local football clubs. I like supporting the ones that don't have as much money or get the biggest attendances. But no, when you go there, you feel part of something. You feel welcomed and you feel appreciated. You don't just feel like you've gone. They've taken your money and just sort of left you to sort yourself out. But yeah, yeah, it is fantastic, and you can tell that they're a football club that cares about its community. Jack saying I'm a season ticket holder though, so yeah, it's fair enough. Is it £52 for your season ticket? That's brilliant. Obviously for that league is fantastic. I can't remember what team it was, but it was a team. I want to say it was just the league below National League South, and they were charging £85 for a season ticket. Which at first glance I thought, you know what, that's a fair price. But when I actually broke it down, and I thought, you know what, that's what a couple of leagues lower than Eastleigh, the team that I work for. That's actually quite a lot to charge for a season ticket. Obviously, you just said you pay £52 for your season ticket. I appreciate it might be like an early bird window, or it's a bit later on now, but that's ridiculous. Jack said no, season ticket was £300. Oh, that's my fault. Sorry, mate. I was thinking about the shirt price you said. No, it's my fault, mate. Sorry about that. Jack saying that cheap. No, Jamie saying sorry. That cheap. £18 is helping your club out. Yes, exactly. £18, to go for a game. It's not bad at all compared to when you go to other football clubs. So, and you help. At the end of the day, you're helping out a local football team. You're helping out a smaller football club who need the money to survive off of, and they rely on their gate entries. Gaz is saying Man United fans of all ages paying £66 a ticket and then getting wet from the league. Yeah, very true. I remember seeing about that. Obviously, a lot of fans were getting drenched because the roof had a massive hole in it, or holes, I should say. But yeah, £66 for a ticket again. It's ridiculous. I'm not sure if that's like whether that's normal in the Premier League or if that's less or a bit too much. But yeah, that's crazy. I've seen some of Man United season ticket prices as well, and it's absolutely mental. I bought some season ticket. I can't remember the exact prices, but I can find out for you. I can just load it up. I believe it's in the region of £500, but I'll just double check that for you. Yeah, it's £530 for a Portsmouth season ticket. So compared to other football league clubs, probably quite a lot. But then I've seen some other, and I thought, okay, compared to that's still that's still not too bad. Jack saying Brighton City match ticket was £62. Yeah, that's crazy. That's Premier League football for you. No, that's mental. Of the Premier League, obviously they charge a bit more because it's the Premier League. But they do take their fans for mugs. I know that's probably a bit harsh to say, but Sky will say, "Oh, the Premier League will come out and say football is the fans," or that football wouldn't be football without the fans. But then you charge them £66 a ticket, or £62 a ticket, or 65, whatever it is. It shows how much they actually care about their supporters. Gaz saying Glazer's still eating caviar. LOL. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to see your comment. I'm trying to scroll down the chat. There we go. Oh no. Just messed up. I've got it back up now. There we go. But yeah, it is absolutely mental what some clubs charge. I know that obviously there's like league regulations about what to charge and what not to charge, or like, you know, what the minimum is to charge. But still, Jamie saying City do take their fans for mugs. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm not. I can't say I've seen what match ticket prices are for individual Man City games, but I know that for Arsenal, because my girlfriend's an Arsenal fan, and I've seen it on their social media as well. Arsenal, for their men's team, you have to do like a ballot system to go to away games. I can't remember what it was for home games, but for an away game. No, sorry, it was for a home game. It was £120. You had to go into a ballot system. Yeah, it was for a home game. You had to go into a ballot system. It was £120, and £120. I think that included other stuff. It wasn't just a match ticket, but that's mental. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with the pricing of football in general nowadays. Obviously, with the exception of some of the lower leagues, but yeah, it's what football costs in 2025 is mental. Jack saying all Premier League away games are £30. Yeah, it's a £30 cap was put in a few years ago. I wish they brought that into the Championship. I'm going to be brutally honest. I think it was Bristol City charged £35. Yeah, it was 35. I think it was 35. It might be 45. Bristol City away, but either way, it was 35 or 45. And it's just when I saw then that there was a £30 cap in the Premier League, I said, why can you not bring that into the Championship? Or even like League One, League Two, you're probably not going to get clubs charging that amount for away fans. But still, that is absolutely ridiculous. Charging £45 for an away trip, especially when you've got to add in also the cost of travel, costing of food and drink, sometimes accommodation as well. So all adds up, and match tickets don't help that. Gaz is saying no chance, mate. Glazers sacked most of the scouts, so no chance you getting headhunted, mate. LOL. Jack saying I went City away was £30. I think that's because all away games are max, because all away games are £30. Yeah, I saw that. As I said, I saw that there's a £30 limit in the Premier League, which I do quite like the idea of. It does help, because if not, you would get clubs charging £50, probably £60 as well for away fans. So it's good that obviously they've got that cap in place. However, you also need to. I've just seen Gaz's comment. However, you also need to cause I think it should be brought into the Championship, because I've seen the prices that they charge away fans. It's absolutely mental. And how some people will actually willingly pay it is. I know obviously people are passionate about their team, they want to follow their team, but until you actually take a stand against these football clubs and actually say, no, I'm not paying your money, I'm not paying your prices for match tickets, they're not going to listen, and they're just going to keep putting it up and up and up. Gaz is saying, don't forget, to go to an Arsenal game, you have to know how to sing the one and only song, Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Jamie saying, I can't stand City or Man U, so I won't get rip off. Yeah, fair enough, Jamie. don't get me wrong, it's nice as an experience, Man United and Man United, Arsenal, Man City, not so much Arsenal, but Man United, Man City, Chelsea, obviously all the bigger clubs in the Premier League. I wouldn't want to pay their prices. As good as an experience as it is to go to one of their games, I'm not prepared to pay that amount of money to go to watch a Premier League game, even if it is, like Liverpool, Man City, whatever it is. I'm not prepared to pay that amount of money. But yeah, I just think the price of football nowadays is ridiculous. I'm trying to remember because I remember seeing when Portsmouth played Bolton away a few seasons ago. I remember seeing the prices for that fixture. I can't remember what exactly it was, but I know that for League One level it was quite cheap. So I thought, Bolton have done a good one there. So I don't know what Bolton's prices are now. But I know that obviously a lot of clubs around League One are more. Not all of them, and not all of them aren't, but there are a few that are a bit more like, we're a community club, will charge a lot less. I know that in the Championship, Watford they charge £5 for under 18s to go to their away game. Well, to go to Vicarage Road as an away fan, it's £5 for under 18s, which is absolutely amazing. I did want to do it last year, but it was Boxing Day, so I wasn't allowed to go for family reasons. So yeah, I would love to do it this season, but that's not till next year, I don't think. So I've got time to sort that out. Jack saying most expensive ticket for Brighton City is £85 near Players Bench. £85. That's the price of a shirt at Sheffield United. So you have to pick. Do you want to go watch Brighton v City near the bench, near the dugout, or do you want a Sheffield United shirt? No, come on, £85. Like, I'll sit here and I moan that Portsmouth tickets cost too much. It's like £40, but no, £85. No, that's mental. No, £85 absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying that clubs don't need to make a profit. I'm not saying that clubs shouldn't, charge appropriately. But no, £85 is nowhere near of charging appropriately. And the thing is you pay. I know it's obviously a bit different, obviously the leagues and stuff. But say you go and watch a National League game, you sit in a seat, it costs you £25. Just say you go to a National League game, you pay for a seat in a stand, it's £25. Then you pay for £85 to go watch Brighton versus City. You sit in more or less the same plastic seat with more or less the same view. But what are you actually paying for? What's actually different about that? Obviously, it's two different teams playing in a different league. But what's actually different about the experience that you're getting? Because, as Jamie's just said, so I've read his comment, it's not about football no more. It's who got more money to rip off to fans. There's a lot of daft people who pay for it. Exactly, Jamie, you've hit the nail on the head, and it's the people above taking football fans now for mugs and just keeping them for their money. It is absolutely mental, and it's upsetting to see how much not how much football costs, but football should be accessible to everyone. It should be. I'm not saying you should be paying pennies to go in, but it should be. It should be accessible to all. Everyone should have the opportunity to go and watch a game of football. But not everyone has a spare £85 lying around, so can't afford to go watch a Premier League match. Jack says Worthing charged £2 more a game to sit down, so £20. Yeah, it's the same at or it's £1 a game at Eastleigh. Obviously, their tickets cost a bit more anyway. It's it was £21 to stand. No, £21 to sit, sorry, and £20 to stand. That's gone up this year. But yeah, obviously it's a bit different, so their tickets are a little bit more. But just getting your final comments, so I'm going to wrap the stream up. So we've going for almost an hour and 40 minutes. So, yeah, going back to what I said basically right at the start of the stream, obviously, massive thank you to Gaz for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. We're going to try our best. Obviously, this is the second time we've done this. So hopefully we can work something out, or we can get more shows done in the future. I really appreciate this opportunity. So I'm really grateful to Gaz for this. So hopefully I'll catch you guys on a later stream as well. So just get your final comments in, guys, and I'll look to wrap this up over the next couple of minutes. But thank you all for a really good stream. I've enjoyed chatting with you all about Portsmouth, EFL, non-league, Premier League shirts. I really enjoy it. So thank you very much. And obviously the season would have started by the time we do the next stream. But I'll try. Obviously, I'll get all the kits up that we can look at, and I'll show you all of them once the third kit's released. And obviously we'll reflect on I'll probably try and do it in an international break. I'll discuss this with Gaz later, but if possible, I'll try and do it sort of in the international break. So just before we play Southampton, because I think that'd be quite good timing for the stream. But obviously I'll discuss that with Gaz, and we'll advertise it once it's been agreed. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone for coming on. Thank you very much for your support and for your kind words. Jamie saying, done a great job again, mate. Jack saying, take care, Jamie and Gaz. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all your support. Jamie saying, great live, mate. Take care. Jack saying, good luck to Portsmouth Saturday. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all your support. I'll wrap it up in a second shortly. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate all the kind words and all the even with the technical difficulties. I appreciate you all coming on and bearing with us. As I said, I'm still getting used to being on this side of the camera. I'm still getting used to just where everything is, but I'm getting there, and I'm definitely getting better stream on stream. So hopefully next time will just be that little bit better, a little bit smoother, and hopefully we'll have the comments up on the screen too. But I hope you have a good evening. Thank you all for Jamie saying night all. Take care. Bye for now. So yeah, Gaz is streaming tomorrow, I believe, for one of the games tomorrow. And I'll try and catch you guys in the chat for one of the games over the weekend too. So I hope you have, or maybe Friday night, or we'll see. I'll see you guys around in the chat anyways. But I hope you have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon. Gaz is just saying, well done, dinner. Thanks, fan dinners. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, take care, everybody. I'll leave it there. Have a great evening, and thank you all for your support. I'll see you for the next Pompey Show, and I'll catch you on one of the Gaz's streams soon. Take care and have a good evening, guys. Thank you.